Farscape Engineers Inspector Summary Video. We're here in Boston, and what we have here is an existing fire escape tied to a wooden deck that crosses to another fire escape there, and I believe this is the means of egress is that the fire escape window, and I believe this is going to be a fire escape window as well as this one. So first couple of issues that we have is we're looking for evidence of maintenance and evidence of painting. Fire escape is due for a paint job. A lot of rust starting to show through, but at least 25 to 50% of this fire escape is showing some evidence of rust. We have some galvanized replacement that was put in here, so I don't know if this was part of the original because it doesn't look like the rest of the steel is galvanized. So this might have been something where they put the supports into the building are galvanized. Going down, we got a lot of rebolting because we're looking for original hardware, which is square, and I'm finding hex head bolting throughout. So we either have to certify this fire escape or test this fire escape if it's in good condition. So at this time we cannot load test. We have evidence of rust in some of the connections, primarily the tread connections. There is some rust that is showing up in the rail connections. Even though it has a bolt, the water is getting in here and it's compromising and making some of these connections suspect. Some other things, cutting, this will cut your finger. We got to get this out of here. I don't know what that's doing there. We got rust in the stringer clip here. See all that rust? And this is original hardware. See, that's a square. There's a square head bolt right there. And these need to be load tested. Or if you want the certification, to take these out, even though they're in good to excellent condition, take them out, put in new bolts. We basically certify the fire escape in lieu of a load test. Same thing applies here. If this is an original bolt and it's 50 to 75 years old, then it's square, which it is. We can keep that if that's in good order. Put a gusset back here, put a bolt here, and basically we've backed up that, and we can now certify it instead of load testing it. So on this side we got rust, definitely needs to be clipped out. When you're going down, we got a lot of dirt and a lot of rust accumulation coming on top. Once you clean these out, you definitely got to silicone shut them, because if you don't, you're going to see what happens when I go underneath. Look at all that rust. Now, another issue here is that there is paint with lead on it. Anything older than 1978 is presumed to have lead. So any and all scraping and painting must be done with a renovator's license in order to touch this fire escape. First to get all the lead paint, then you can proceed with structural repair. I'll talk about the wood structure after I'm done here. It is tied back into the building. A lot of these feet, we have to have a roofer work with us to identify just how tight this is in there. See the rust in here? This is what happens when you don't seal it. Even though it's got its bolt, now this bolt is suspect because look at all that rust that's being built up in there. But that's not my main concern. My main concern is all these treads. See all that rust? These bolts are compromised. See all that rust? Evidence. It's all coming in from above. And when you look over here, you've got quite a bit of rust, including this one. This is probably the worst one. And this probably is going to need some immediate attention because the gap is quite large there. And look up there, same thing. See all that rust? Same thing. The sun may be blocking, but look, all these treads. So 100% of these treads need to be rebolted. Cleaned, the connection, prime the connection, then rebolt. Now, the last piece that we're talking about is the tiebacks into the building. They look very, very good. Problem is, the only way for me to guarantee that they're good beyond the veneer, this is the veneer, and then it's the masonry block wall behind this veneer that ties in 8 to 12 inches deep. I either load test this platform upon doing my spot repairs. I can load test this platform, or I can do an epoxy bolt about 5 inches away, 3/4 epoxy bolt, 8 to 12 inches deep, mechanically fasten it back to this connection. Now I leave the original connections as is. My new primary connections will last and eliminate the load test requirement for at least 20 to 25 years. Fire escape needs a paint job. And that's the primary issue with this, is that we got rust in all the treads, above and on the sides, and we've got miscellaneous connections, including up there that all those rail corners are bolted on one end but welded on the other. The other welded side needs to either be x-rayed or load tested, or just put a bolt on the opposite side that has the welds, and we eliminate the need for a load test or x-ray. Let's talk about the wood. Standard wood construction, with 5/4 decking. The norm on anything that's a catwalk that's also part of a fire escape system is that it's at least 1.5 inches. So a lot of times it's just double up this, and you've met the thickness requirement as per the fire code. It's been up here for a while. We're starting to get a lot of bit of splits, and as you can see, it's separation in corners. So again, we're on a roof. It's resting on a roof, so you're gonna have to work with a rubber roof guy. But a lot of this is just showing its age. You know, these things on average last about 25 years. It's never been stained. You get freeze and thaw, and again, a lot of these rots 2 to 3 inches here. Whenever we deal with anything that's wood, we just don't re-nail it. Everything is gusset, metal gussets that you buy to basically reinforce every corner with a metal bracket so that we can get 3 to 4 inches away from the outside wood, which is rotted. When you cut these, they rot 2 to 3 inches in because water gets in through here. But if you can get a gusset or a triangle or something in here that's metal, that basically will buy you another 5, maybe 10 years the most. And then we start sealing a lot of these so that freeze and thaw doesn't separate these anymore. We silicone shut these just to stop the pushing of Mother Nature from ice jacking a lot of this. So you've got a few bores in here that are popping. This is just a carpenter's job to get in here, but you can see that she's needs a little bit more reinforcement. Some things have cracked. So this catwalk is probably dealing with a carpenter part of this, whether they want to remove this whole thing and put in a metal fire escape galvanized, preferably. It'll help with the snow and ice issues, because we'll put it 8 to 12 inches above grade, so that whenever there's snow, this you have to shovel. Grading, you never have to shovel during the snowstorm. So I'm sure this roof gets snow that basically covers this, and then you have to shovel this. So maybe a metal catwalk, but otherwise you can still get another 5 to 10 years out of this, but it's going to definitely need some metal reinforcement, because just standard nailing back in here is not going to do it. A lot of the places where it's not doing well is already rotted 2 to 3 inches into that corner. So that's going to be handled as a separate issue. And as we go back to this fire escape, which is in the shade, as you can see, we have another inspection here by Tom, who's going to give us a detail of what's going on here. But again, the bolts have been changed out. Similar situation, it's a duplicate of the one across, but that one's in the sun and this one's in the shade. Okay, it's Fire Escape Inspector Summary Video. This is Cisco, 866-649-0333, 866-649-0333.